Hello children, today we'll be doing the last part of the fiscal policy chapter, meaning of public debt. The last instrument, third instrument, public debt. Public debt is a loan taken by the government. Public bodies means the government. From whom? From the banks, commercial banks, from any business organization or from any individual. Okay, any type of loans raised by the government is termed as public debt. The types of public debt, first one, internal and external. Internal means borrowed from the people of the country. External means borrowed from, raised from abroad, foreign government, foreign agencies, World Bank, etc. Okay. It is basically meant for the internal requirements like any sort of development plans, and this one is meant for overcoming the balance of payment deficit. Balance of payment means export and import balance. Since we are a developing country, we generally borrow capital goods. We purchase capital goods from the foreign countries which are expensive, but we sell or export consumer goods which are cheaper. Hence, our imports are generally greater than exports. That makes the balance of payment unbalanced, creating a deficit. To cure that deficit, to remove that deficit, external debts are taken. And lastly, it puts external burden has a greater burden than that of internal burden. Internal debt, lesser burden. External debt creates more of a burden. The next type of public debt is the productive debt. Productive means it can be used for productive purposes to raise the productive capacity of the country. That means increase the production of goods and services. The next one, unproductive debt is also called as a deadweight debt. Okay, why? Because these type of debts do not add to the production capacity. That means they do not help in increasing production. Since they do not help in increasing production, we don't earn an income from it. The government does not earn any income from it. Hence, we don't have an income source to pay this back. But in case of productive debt, the government earns from it. And the income earned from such type of asset can be used to pay back the debt. Productive debt. Okay. The next one is short term, long term. Raised for a short period of time, raised for a longer period of time. Then we move on to the redemption of public debt, that is paying back of the public debt. Redemption means repayment of the loan which the government has taken, and it is an important responsibility of the government. Government should pay back the loans taken by it from the people or business or bank, anyone. The first method by which the government pays back, there are methods of repayment. The first method is repudiation. Repudiation means refusal to pay. The government completely refuses to pay back the loan. Okay? It creates a bad impression on the people. It shakes the confidence of the people on the government as well as on the concept of public debt. Hence, this method is not applicable anymore. The second method is refunding. Refunding means taking a new loan to pay back the old loan. Suppose the government does not have money to repay the loan, it will take a new loan at the present moment and pay back the existing loan. This is known as refunding. A new loan is taken to repay the old loan. Next one is conversion of loans. Converting a loan from a high interest one into a low interest one. Suppose the loans were taken in the year 2015 where the loan rate of interest was 12%. And in 2019 the loan rate of interest has fallen down to 8%. Government will repay back that old loan. Okay? And take a new loan at the new rate. Loan burden remains as it is. The only difference is the high interest loan has now been converted into a low interest loan. Next one. sinking fund method, in which the government creates an account known as the sinking fund account. And on that account, in that account, every year the government sets aside a certain amount of money from its budget. Okay, this is known as sinking fund. In such a way, the government keeps on depositing money that at the end of the term for which the loan, so that means suppose the loan's maturity period is 5 years, the government starts collecting money in that account continuously for 5 years. Okay, we'll collect money in that account for 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, that account will have that much amount of money to meet the interest amount plus or pay back the interest amount plus the principal amount. Sinking fund is of two types: certain, where the government credits a fixed sum of money annually, or uncertain, where the government credits any amount of money which it has surplus, not a fixed sum of money. The danger in this method is the government will not wait till the end of the period of maturity and utilize the fund. It has money in hand. Whenever it requires, it can withdraw it. It can withdraw that amount of money. That is the disadvantage of this method. Then the next one is a capital levy. Capital levy means a tax, once for all tax. The government in a particular year will decide to charge tax on property and wealth of a person just for that particular year, once for all. A huge amount of money gets collected and that can be used to pay back the loans. And this type method is generally imposed when a loan has been taken for wars, because it is an unproductive expenditure. We are not going to earn anything from it. Hence, the money is repaid back through capital levy method. Then, surplus budget. Sometimes the government may have a surplus budget. Surplus budget means its expenditure will be less than the revenue earned. It will earn more. Say it has charged heavy taxes in a particular year, so it earns more. But then it spends givebacks, or expenditure is less. So the government will have some surplus money at the end of the year, and that money can be used for paying back the loan. The next method is known as terminal annuity method. It is somewhat similar to a sinking fund method. Here also an account is created. Like in case of sinking fund method, an account is created. Same over here, a sinking account is created. Okay, and every year the government transfers a particular amount of money to that account. Okay, and from that account, that particular year itself, the money is paid back to the bondholder, to the person from whom the loan has been taken. Say an example, 100 rupee loan, 10 rupee interest per year. At the end of the first year, the government pays back 30 rupees. 30 rupees means 10 rupees it pays back interest and 20 rupees from the principal amount. So how much is the principal amount pending? 80 rupees. Next year, 80 rupees, interest 8 rupees. Okay, again government will pay back 30 rupees. From 88 rupees total amount pending, 30 rupees paid back, 58 rupees pending. Okay, here the difference between terminal annuity and sinking fund is, in sinking fund the money is kept in the account and paid at the time of maturity. But in terminal annuity, money is paid back to the bondholder annually. And that includes a part of the principal amount also, interest plus principal amount. Then comes statutory reduction in the rate of interest. The government will pass an ordinance and reduce the rate of interest. And it is done in terms of financial crisis. Okay. Next, export surplus. Sometimes the government creates an export surplus. Now what is there are export oriented units. That means sometimes the government sets up units which will only export goods. They will not sell goods inside the country. Okay. If an external debt has been taken and that external debt has been used for setting up